Hello students, welcome back. So now we are going to discuss about the functioning of microcontroller. Before we do that, let us just revise what we had seen in the last video. We said that there are digital input output pins, power pins, analog pins, and at the center we have our Atmega 328 microcontroller. So we are going to discuss the functionality of this microcontroller in this video. Before we go there, let us have a flashback. To make any digital circuit, we need to design the logic first. So this digital design can be done using a set of logical operations which are basically a combination of logic gates. The conventional way is get your problem statement, make a truth table where you are going to list down in which case your answer is true, in which case your answer is false. True means 1, false means 0. Based on those ones and zeros, you will map them using a Karnaugh map, which are also called K-maps. K-maps will optimize the logical expression. So if I solve this 4 variable K-map, there are A, B, C, D, 4 variables. I'm going to get one expression in A, B, C, D. And then using a set of logic gates, I can attach them and get my digital design ready. Well, this approach is very good if the logic is simple and not very large in complexity. So now, if we have complex designs, what can we do? Well, the approach is still the same. We are going to start with very basic elements like resistors, transistors, diodes. They are connected to make logic gates. Then we prepare our logic gate library. Once this library is done, then we add them with each other properly to make some logic structures like adders, multipliers, memory elements, registers, larger memory elements like RAM, ROM, and using multiplexers, adder, multipliers, we make the complete arithmetic and logical unit ALU. So we keep on building from smaller designs to the bigger and more complex designs. So what is inside a microcontroller? The same logic structures that we have already designed, they will come as the computing unit and storage unit inside the microcontroller. A program will come in the form of instructions from input pins. These logic structures will compute, will process those statements and generate the output, and with the help of those output pins we can visualize the output processed by the microcontroller. Let us look at the programming part in a little detail. We said we are giving 3 instructions in 3 lines. So line 1, 2, 3. This is one 12-bit instruction. These 12 bits are divided into multiple parts. The first 4 bits, they are having a code for the type of function that we are going to perform. So if there are 4 bits, that means this microcontroller can have 16 different instructions. So every instruction is given a unique code. 0001 is given for write in this case. So first 4 bit represent that we are writing something. The next 4 bits, they are showing the address of register where we are going to write it. So the location is 0001. And the last 4 bits are telling us the value which will be written in that particular register. So that value is 4, which is 0100. Line number 2, again starting with the same first 4 bits. So it is again writing something but at a different location. Location is 0010 and a different number which is 0110 means 6. Line 3, we have a different opcode. Opcode means operation code or instruction code, you can say it. It is 0010, that is for addition. it is going to add two locations, location of register number 1 and location of register number 2. So once we do that, we get the output, which is the summation of 4 and 6, which is 10, and that is taken by adding these two numbers which were actually stored in the location of register 1 and register 2. Now, do we have to write these commands every time for Arduino programming, because Arduino is using a microcontroller? Well, no. You are going to write a C program. This C program will be converted into assembly program, and then these assembly programs are converted into the statements and they are given to the microcontroller. So all this will happen inside the microcontroller. You have to learn and worry about only the C programming part. So our task is easy. We have to only focus on the learning of C programming. There is very important aspect in every microcontroller based system design, and that is called interfacing. Interfacing means how are you going to connect different external devices, components, or even a similar microcontroller to a given microcontroller. So here we are having an example where we are connecting 4 push buttons, and if I press a combination of push buttons, I am expecting some output on an LCD display or set of 7 segment displays or anything else. So we are interfacing input pins with push buttons. We are interfacing our decoder and LCD on the output pins. How do we do these interfacings? We will learn them in detail in our future videos. So some of the examples are, you would have seen some toy cars like remote controlled cars. They are all microcontroller driven. Their motors which are running the tires, or their sensors which is sensing the incoming RF signal, all of them are interfaced on one microcontroller. You have home appliances like refrigerator, microwave, or anything. They also have a microcontroller which is interfacing some of the inputs that you give and controlling some output devices like temperature management or for how much time the microwave will rotate. All these things are done with the help of interfacing. So what are all the different kind of devices that can be interfaced? There are a lot of input devices like sensors, buttons, switches, potentiometers, resistors, keypads. There is a set of output devices that can be attached like LEDs, displays, motors, LCD, speakers, buzzer. And of course, you can have extra memory and connection with your computer using Arduino's microcontroller. So once we know about all this, in the next video, we are going to talk about the type of signals that can be taken by an Arduino board. Thank you.